Here we go. Alright. Welcome back to Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic vs. Non-Classics. This is episode number 3211, Doubleshot number 3105. I got a Marvel trade and a Boom Studios trade. First up we have is Punisher, the Complete Collection. Well, Punisher Max Complete Collection, Volume 3. Which, by the way, this is the penultimate trade that collect issues from Garth Ennis' run for Punisher, which went since 2000. This book collects issues 31 to 49 of the Punisher Volume 6. So, 3 story arcs here. Barracuda, which takes issues 31 to 36, drawn by Goran Parlov. Man of Stone, drawn by Leonardo Fernandez. And Widowmaker, issues 43 to 49, by Lam Medina. Barracuda, a character who was an original Punisher villain for this continuity. And did you know there are plans to introduce him in the 616 continuity in a miniseries known as Punisher vs. Barracuda? It was going by Ed Bronson, and this actually was one of the titles that got canceled due to COVID. As for why in the world, basically, now by the way, this is actually one of the 2 titles that I know that were canceled because of COVID, but then most everything else got released the very next year. Doesn't I find that kind of weird? Like, everything that was all canceled that was supposed to come out in 2020, with the exception of Punisher Barracuda and New Warriors, all came out the very next year. New Warriors, I'm very happy that one was released because of those new characters. They look awful. But Punisher Barracuda, I think a lot of people were looking forward to that one, then got canceled. By the way, starts out with a guy that looks like he's been consumed. He's basically a dead body consumed by a shark. Lots of shark stuff here. Barracuda. He's a crazy guy, he is. Oh my gosh. Ever see a Punisher eating a hamburger in a fast food joint? And apparently it looks like he poses as a police officer at some point. Yep. And when you think, okay, where's Barracuda? Well, he does show up here, don't worry about that. He shows up at the end of an issue where it looks like he has apparently killed a woman a lot, basically sleep with her, and he has gold teeth. I'm not going to show what they say because I'd rather not be censored. Because on his teeth it says F-U. Well, F-U-C-K-U. Yes, Garth Ennis does a good idea, so let's run with it. Yeah, and Barracuda, he's a crazy guy. Oh my gosh. Big, bulky, black guy who does drugs, sleep. Every time he sleeps with women, he apparently just... someone accidentally kills him, so he just... one woman he just dumps in the water because he's no use for her. And Barracuda is one tough guy. Then we have, not Punisher, just another guy who looks like him, just finish him with a woman. Yes, who apparently, his name is Harry, I think his name is Harry, I think it's some guy's wife. And Barracuda is, the best way to describe Barracuda, he's kind of like this universe version of the Russian, if he was black. And maybe being American. So... it takes a while for Punisher to encounter Barracuda. He doesn't really encounter him like pretty much the end of this, like about halfway story, I think. He gets in a fight with him, and then yeah, he gets in a fight with him here. Like this way, but he also at one point he gets his throat, his cheek slit open, expose his teeth, like yeah, slice right through the skin. At one point, he dumps the Punisher in the water near a freaking great white shark. And you think, oh, he's going to take him out. Nope. He manages to get out of the thing, cause some blood. Actually eats some other guy who was throwing tossed in the water. Barracuda likes doing that for some reason. Yep. So then he proceeds to feed the guy to the shark, this hungry great white shark. He just tosses this guy, this random guy, in the shark's mouth, allowing him to eat him. Punisher gets away, and of course, Barracuda thinks he won. He's also lost 2 of his teeth, 2 of his gold teeth. Punisher will survive, and then this guy here with this woman looks like he finished with all her nasty. Apparently, finishing with her, and then all of a sudden Barracuda shows up. Yep. Where apparently, they do anything like just keep it secret, not so Harry's like, fine. So, making pancakes. Yep. Make pancakes. Apparently good. Actually, they had room service for him. And Punisher stocks up to go deal with him. Deal with Barracuda. Yep. Then we have a guy who just randomly finds out, probably one of Harry's goons. Of course, they kill the guy, and Barracuda basically forms a bond with him, this guy here. And then by the finale of this storyline, supposedly Barracuda gets killed off, but don't worry, he comes back. Because apparently people like him, like a guy who freaking swears every time. Yes. And then, of course, the woman gets eaten by a shark. And the Punisher proceeds to shoot him multiple times. And then he supposedly falls, and supposedly he's eaten by a shark, but oh, don't worry, he comes back. And then we have the very next arc, Man of Stone, which is basically a militaristic story arc, where Punisher kills some guys, gets involved with local military. Yeah. He's basically overseas in someplace. Apparently Afghanistan. Yeah, he deals with his general. And then he basically deals with Catherine O'Brien. She, of course, in this story gets killed off, though it's found out in 2 of this one that she actually got pregnant and gave birth to a baby girl named Sarah. That's what they found out, basically, in 2 of this one. Yep. And she's like, she gets killed by a freaking landmine. Yep. Oh, Afghanistan. Yes, Punisher just in relation with her the whole time. Story wraps up at issue 42. Yep. She gets killed off in the penultimate issue. My guess because Ennis didn't have any use for her, so just kill her off, but have a little remnant of her because of the girl thing. Then Punisher kills some guys, and then move on to the very next story arc here, which takes up pretty much 7 straight issues. Widowmaker. You'd think of a story like a Widowmaker called Black Widow. Nope, does not. Okay, this storyline involves a woman who... these gangster wives, who apparently had no problem with the fact one of them actually hit them. Yep, one woman got badly abused by her husband so much, she lost both of her breasts. Yes, I am not kidding about that. That somehow getting beaten from her husband, which apparently is okay in this world of gangsters, which I would think basically gangsters would not do that at all. The constant beatings. Nope. There's lots of drugs involved, and yeah, the woman does not have any breasts at all because she has little nipples because of all the beatings her husband apparently on their wedding night, for some random reason, her brand new husband decided to rape her and beat her. And also apparently Punisher killed her before, and she was happy with that because he's a terrible husband. Yes. And it's a very weird storyline. it's promoting the fact domestic abuse is bad. It is. So by the end of this, basically, like, after killing a bunch of people, she just randomly decides to have sex with Punisher, and then as soon as they finish, she just kills herself right on top of him. And then Punisher goes off, wonders what the heck was all that about. Yeah. So Barracuda, I think, was an interesting character per se. My guess is the reason they brought him back because people love that story are featuring him because he got a miniseries after this. Yes, believe it or not, he got a miniseries. And at this point, I think Garth Ennis was getting a little bit tired. He probably wanted to lead Punisher as possible. He branded this 2000. So looking up, basically, let's discuss next trade, which next time recording will be the end of this run. I give it an 8 out of 10. Yep. But here's what was interesting. It's like, well, it's interesting, though, the fact that the very next arc does affect, basically, the story off next. So Widowmaker is just bizarre, to say the least. Alright, next up, basically, we have is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Volume 8. Beyond the Grid. Written by Margaret Bennett, art by Semina Mundo, who does that work. French Carmigo and Francis Martino. Collects Mighty Power Rangers issues 31 and 34. See the Power Rangers, well, Time Dispatch ones. Basically, we have the Mag Defender, Zero Ranger 2, which is Tanya, with the actress, Ranger Slayer, Samurai, the Samurai Ranger from Ninja Storm, Death Ranger, we actually go a little backstory later on in their book, and Andros, and here the Permadia, aka Terra Venture. Yep, so they just could go like random plants. Yeah. Despite this being called Mighty Power Rangers, it doesn't focus on them at all. No, focus on other Rangers. Apparently, also, they mentioned apparently that Leo died at some point, and it's Mike. Yeah, but it's up here with Tanya, which I think is really cool. I love this little shot here of all the Rangers. So here they call Hegel Death Ranger, but they basically call him something else. They call him like Dark Blue, I think it was. So the stuff with the Morphing Masters is basically like a little fun adventure with them, which I thought this book was just really, really cool. I think the next one they actually go through Hegel's backstory, which I'm glad they adapted it for that because, of course, it came out several years after the conclusion. Of course, looking for somebody and looking for this villain here. But all in all, this storyline is fantastic. I love this book. I give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Really, really good. Okay, so that is pretty much it. Particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up is going to be talking about Metal Heroes with Jiraiya. Okay, next view. Bye.